another video, with a blank in Gameweek 12 right around the corner. Here is a wildcard team to use to get an advantage over your friends and win your mini leagues. I have included the plans over the next few weeks as well to make your decisions a lot easier. If you missed out on my previous video where I discussed the top players for projected points in Gameweek 11 and my top picks for each position, be sure to watch that later, it will be on screen at the end. Let's move on to the wildcard team for Gameweek 11. Starting off with a goalkeeper, a different one and not too popular, is the Wolves man Jose Sa. He faces Forest, Palace, Leicester and Brentford in his next 4. Wolves' fixture is ticked off as the best for defense until the World Cup break according to the Fantasy Football Hub. He is already at a 41-point tally for the season, that is second amongst all keepers in the league up to now. He has conceded 8 goals in the last 3 games compared to 3 in their first 6. This was usually because they sacked their manager Bruno Lage. However, Wolves have been considered a good defensive side over the past 2 seasons, so I do see them bouncing back. The AI also agrees with me on this one, projecting him with 14.7 points over the next 4 game weeks, which is 4th amongst all keepers, only behind Alisson, Lloris and Nick Pope, all that are priced more than him. If you don't like him as a pick, then the alternative would be Lloris and Guaita because of the price difference. Moving on to defense, we have Cancelo. He did start off the season slowly but has quickly transformed. Due to Walker's injury, he has been given a much more advanced role in the City side and as a result has already racked up 2 goals and 2 assists up to now. He is top for points amongst all defenders and is so by quite some margin. The only reason you don't feature him in your team may be the blank in Gameweek 12, but his fixtures after that after the World Cup break look too good to miss out on. With Reece James picking up a knock in the midweek, I've gone for Cucurella instead. He did start against Wolves, so that's a good sign, and he was well rested midweek, so I reckon he starts. I would wait on that decision however, because if Reece James is out long term, then Cucurella is pretty much nailed on. Coming in at 1 million less, it does allow for potential upgrades elsewhere too. Lastly, a bit of a differential pick than the usuals, Dunk from Brighton. Some of his fixtures look very favourable for a clean sheet. In fact, the fixture ticker has them at 6th place for expected clean sheets up to the World Cup break. That is ahead of Newcastle, Man United and even Arsenal. They have already proven themselves in defense this season, being the 3rd best team in terms of expected goals conceded and have had 3 clean sheets to show for it. Dunk is a rotation based player in this team though, and I've paired him up with 2 more defenders who could start in the next few games. Moving on to the midfield, we start off with the highest points midfielder who isn't a City player, already racking up 55 points this season with 4 goals and 3 assists. Martinelli was insane value at the start of the season for 6 million and is still very good value for 6.6 million. He does have a blank in Gameweek 12, but he could easily be benched for that one. He is the best asset to own from Arsenal and could haul against any opponent the way Arsenal have been playing recently. Maddison up next. Now, Leicester have looked a lot better in the last 3 games and most of their attacks have in some way gone through this man. His next 2 games are pretty high ceiling games and the plan with him is to move him on in Gameweek 13 to another mid-price midfielder, my choice being Phil Foden from City. 3rd for projected points amongst all midfielders up to the World Cup break is Zaha. He is Palace's main goal threat for most of his games and with his favourable fixtures up to the break, he might as well be the best midfielder in his price bracket. He has already had 5 goal involvements despite missing a penalty, so he has already proven himself this season. The last one is a bit of a controversial one with Son. He has only had 3 goals and 2 assists this season, which is quite good but not for someone priced at 11.7 million. He is only behind Mo Salah for expected points amongst all midfielders up to the World Cup break, but I do reckon he outscores the Egyptian. Spurs' fixtures in attack look solid with them being placed at 3rd in the fixture ticker over at Fantasy Football Hub. Mitrovic, the first one in the forward line, and this will be a move you should make based on the injury news we received towards the end of the week. His fixtures do look a very high ceiling for the Serbian and it's only a matter of his fitness. He is projected to score the 4th highest points in attack up to the World Cup break, only behind Haaland, Kane and Wilson. Speaking of Haaland, he is the next player in the team. Not much to say about him apart from his 102 points already in FPL, ahead of Kane, who is second by 39 points. The last one in the starting 11 is one that I'm considering myself in Solanke. Bournemouth have shown recent form, scoring 6 goals in their last 4 games. Solanke did get his first return for the season, getting both the assists in their 2-1 win over Leicester this weekend. So maybe now he does have his break and can continue delivering for your FPL team. The bench consists of Ward, Andreas, Trippier and Guehi. I've gone for a pretty strong bench to fill in for the blank in Game 12 and to have good rotations with the poor performing players. This team does leave me with 3.2 million in the bank for any potential upgrades later on. This team also does average about 63 points per game according to the Fantasy Football Hub My Team 2. This is my opinion on the best wildcard team for Gameweek 11. Comment robot down below so that I know how many of you stayed to the end. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. See you soon for the next one.